On behalf of our athletic department, our campus, really our entire community, couldn't be more excited about today's announcement and the extension of our partnership with the WIAA. Through the spring of 2033, our venues will be open to boys basketball, football, boys and girls golf, individual and team wrestling, and softball. And we just couldn't be more excited about that. From all those involved, but mostly for the student athletes that participate in those championships, their families, and really, as we'll see this weekend, the communities that come out to support these kids. It creates lifelong memories, not just for the students, but for their families. And it's a beautiful thing, and we've got a long history of doing it together, and really excited to continue that. I just want to commend Stephanie Hauser and her organization at WIAA for this partnership and for working together to find a way that led to today's exciting announcement. Our teams have collaborated for years and years, and our partnership has never been stronger than it is today. I just want to say thank you. Lastly, this is really important for our community. The economic impact of hosting these championships and the hundreds of thousands of visitors that visit our community is significant, in excess of $22 million a year for this community in terms of economic impact. And it's something that is important to all of us. It's a win-win across the board, and like I said, we couldn't be more excited about it. So thank you.
Stephanie, do you have some comments for us?
Well, I'd also like to extend my gratitude for those who attended today and for UW hosting this event today. Partnership is such a great word, and from the moment that Chris McIntosh and I were in our new leadership roles here at UW and respectively at WIAA, we took the time to sit down and talk about what this partnership looked like and what it meant to both of us. And Chris expressed to me at that time how important it was to him personally to continue to have these championship events here at UW. And I felt that throughout the conversations with Chris, with his staff. They were extremely supportive and welcoming to extend this contract. We're excited about these venues continuing to be the championship events for these student athletes, their coaches, and these communities to come out in full force and celebrate the successes of these teams. And we just really appreciate the hospitality and the openness and communication, and we are excited about this extended contract.
Thank you. Do we have questions for either Chris or Stephanie? Go ahead, Todd.
Chris, in saying that, what Stephanie was saying about why this is important for Wisconsin to host these, why to you, can you express why that's important for you to have these continue to be here?
Yeah, I guess I could answer that in a couple ways, Todd. I think, I mean, on a personal level, it is personal to me. The first time that, it's a lifelong memory for me and my family when I was able to wrestle in the field house in 1994. And that experience served as a launching point for my athletic career. And I remember, looking up in section RR where my family sat. And so that type of experience is one that I hope, many, many young people can enjoy themselves. Clearly we have had no shortage of successful Badgers that have matriculated to us through WIAA and through these championships, and that's important. It's important that they get to experience what the Cole Center is like, or what Goodman is like, or any of our U Ridge, obviously Camp Randall. But I think it's also important just in terms of our responsibility to the community and to those kids whose athletic career, this is the peak of their athletic career, that don't go on to play, that they have that experience to play and pursue their passion at the flagship university.
And those memories have been created since the late 1800s, even before the WIAA was officially formed as an association. I believe it was a track event that happened right here on UW's campus in the late 1800s. So a lot of memories have been made over the course of time.
Next question, Andrew in the back.
For both of you, you mentioned how important it is that your two relationship has kind of developed and you're both of the organizations have been able to work together. Just how important is that for any student athlete that they know that Wisconsin and WIAA are working together kind of on their behalf?
That's a great question. I would just say I don't take for granted the relationship or the partnership we have with WIAA. You know, it's a living, breathing thing, and clearly the times that we live in are changing and the challenges are different. For me, it's very comforting to know that WIAA has leadership like that of Stephanie's, and that you know, we've got an open line of communication, and whenever something comes up, either one of us can pick up the phone, give the other a call. I think that's added to the strength of our partnership. And I think, you know, we came into these roles at a very similar time, and it's just nice to know that, you know, we're working towards the same goal, shoulder to shoulder. And like I said, I don't take that for granted.
Brian in the back on the
Yeah.
right.
Chris or Stephanie, what were, if there were, any challenges that you faced before reaching this latest agreement?
The most obvious challenges are always with the schedule. And so that is something that we worked through. We looked at the current schedule challenges and maybe some of those that would happen in the future. And we, you know, as you do with any large event planning, always looking at a plan A, a plan B scenario, and a plan C scenario sometimes. Those are usually the biggest challenges that come up because of schedules and calendars that change on the WIAA end, but also on the Big Ten end where things change. So we worked through those and were able to come up with plans that make a lot of sense for both entities.
Stephanie, this is a relationship you've talked about, but in the past, there have been some contentious moments. Were there any along this way? Because back in 2012, there was a lot of talk about moving out these tournaments out of Madison, the big ones. I don't know if that's anything that the WI kind of holds as a, you know, this is a possibility, or is this maybe just a, we know these are always going to be here, we want them to be here, let's just make it work. I don't know if you can kind of explain if that's still something that you are working through.
Well, 2012 was before my time in the office, so I'm really not privy to the circumstances of that. But having heard that some of that did exist, that was why it was a priority for mine and for Chris's when we both took this role 4 years ago, to sit down and really lay some groundwork and some shared understanding of what our common goals were. And so to that point, there really were no contentious moments because we both know that the goal, the end goal, is the same. We both want what is best for UW and their athletics department, but as well as the kids from across the state of Wisconsin and playing in some of the most beautiful championship events.
A question in the back. Go ahead.
This question is for Stephanie. Phoebe Murray with 15 News. What is your message to impacted families of trans athletes who are no longer being able to play in women's sports in the upcoming school year?
I'll take that one right now. That's a valid question. I appreciate you asking. Today, we're going to leave today's announcement to just the topic at hand. So I appreciate the question. Chris, you mentioned the $22 million impact to the local community. Can you even anecdotally share some of the feedback you've heard from people in the Madison community about what these events bring to Madison?
Yeah, I can. I mean, there's so much excitement from our community, not limited to the businesses, to the hotels and restaurants in our community. There's excitement from campus. You know, the ability to bring hundreds of thousands of people to our campus, to our city, is important, and to showcase it for those that this might be the first time that they've traveled here and visited Madison. So that's important for so many reasons. Like I said, it's something that we don't take for granted. There are no shortage of communities that would love to be hosting WIAA championships, and we feel really fortunate to be able to extend this partnership today.
in front.
Chris, obviously, this was last done in 2018. There's a completely different financial component to the way things are run now with college sports. I don't know, did that change at all how your discussions were going? I don't know if Stephanie, if you have any thoughts on that too, of what you need to make this work from a financial side.
Yeah, I think, when we entered into the discussions about hosting the championships, the finances weren't the priority. That wasn't the driver. We felt a responsibility and an excitement to host the championships for the reasons that we've talked about. Like Stephanie mentioned, really, the conversations were dominated by the logistics, by the scheduling. That was the most difficult piece to work through. But, like you said, Todd, there's so many changes taking place right now in college athletics, and obviously the financial challenges, there are significant financial challenges that go along with it, but this partnership was about so much more than that.